Hello, this is Bruce. I'm GC Railfan here, and we'll get on straight on with it. Today we are reviewing the Class 91 on the East Coast Main Line, Peterborough to London's King's Cross, or London's King's Cross Peterborough, however you want to pronounce it. And this is serving as a 2-for-1 review. I never really reviewed the East Coast Main Line, and I think now is a good opportunity to do it. So, without further ado, we have Class 91. Now, let's get into free roam view. As you can hear, there are people's voices everywhere. Not helped by the fact that for some reason, when I started Bandicam recording, for some strange reason, which I still don't understand, the doors randomly open without me pressing a button. So, we'll take you around the engine very quickly. So at the minute today we're looking at a 91 right this second. From the outside it is a very nice looking model. It's quite accurate as well from what I know. I'm not using the highest settings as per usual because my graphics card won't take it, but then again that's a good thing. Not a lot of us have high-end performance gaming computers. Straight off I can already see a slight issue with the texturing. As you can see, the livery is a lot sharper on the edges on the coach that we're looking at now, as where it looks a bit more soft and fuzzy on the 91 around the banding, which is quite concerning, but I dare say maybe if I was on the highest settings that would be eradicated. So we are just going to take a look at the side now. This model only comes with its respective DVT and Mark IVs. There is only one major issue with it, and it only comes in Intercity Swallow livery, which, you know what, really I'd say it is probably, in my own opinion, I don't know about anyone else because different people like different liveries, but I think it is the most beautiful livery these things I've ever carried. I don't know what it is about Intercity livery, I just love it. It's probably because I saw it so much in my childhood. Well, what I knew of the 90s anyway, all 8 years of it. So yeah, it looks quite alright. It's a bit of an annoyance that this has been released for East Coast Main Line, yet the two scenarios supplied with it for East Coast Main Line, interestingly, have the Class 43 stock supplied as well in the pack, basically reskins to complement this. So the AI traffic is literally just made up of intercity looking trains, when in reality if maybe RSC put a bit more thinking into things, we might have had a livery, sorry, let me rephrase it, I wouldn't say a livery pack, we might have had a release whereby there was more liveries involved, maybe even an East Coast esque livery, and if they couldn't license the trademarks, they could at least have painted it in the same colours. Maybe GNER as well. The possibilities are endless, really. So we get a full complement rake of Mark IVs. You get your TSODs, TSOEs. You get your normal TSOs. Hello, strange guy. What? My God! Wow. And tonight on Crime Watch. Yeah, that's basically what that's like. I hate the AI people on this thing. So yeah, we've got a full complement of carriages, mainly TSOs. You got your FOs, which are down the bottom. The TSODs, I've forgotten what TSODs and these are for. I'll explain some point in the future. This is, well, basically this whole thing will be in two parts anyway. Save on nattering and shit, so you'll be fine. They include a buffet car. We've got the FOs as well. There's an FOD type as well, and we've got the DVT, which is actually fully drivable, which is brilliant. More convict men. He looks like he shat his pants. Oh my God, don't you look grim? Fucking hell, woman. Right, anyway. So we've got a DVT, equally as nicely detailed. You can even see through it. Oh my God. Even the cycle rack inside it. That is brilliant. That is actually pretty ace. In fact, using the free roam, we can drive straight in. You got the cupboards, basic detail inside as expected. You wouldn't expect anything too OTT. Again, it is a DVT. Oh, excuse me. I've had a very long week. Oh, and you can even do this. Oh my good god. Wow. You can go through the interiors of the trains. That is pretty neat. Oh wow. Wow. There's even a buffet car. Oops. Hello, wall. Wow. Okay. It would look a lot better on the high graphics settings, but I think that's tolerable. That is pretty damn neat. Yeah, so you get a full interior. Did they model the toilets? I ask some of the weirdest questions, don't I? No is the answer, but it doesn't matter. Wow. Okay, that's pretty neat. That's pretty damn cool, isn't it? I've got to admit that shit's neat. That shit is neat. Okay, we seem to have found the problem. They haven't included a corridor connection on the end, or one that's spawnable. So technically, anyone can walk straight through the train and go and get munched. Which is a bit of a problem. So now I've had a brief look outside and in. I think it's time we nipped into a cab of some kind. We'll just have a quick look at the buggy detail. Actually, let's have a look at the TOTS panels. I love TOTS panels on these things. Wow, okay, so that's cool. That's spot on actually. Perfect. Don't know if you can hear it, but there's the valves ticking away. Over the crowds of people, there is a little triplex valve or little air valve or something going tick 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 very minutely in the background. You'll notice I've got a DVT and one looking nose first around. There's a very good reason why. I'll show you in a minute. So yeah, right, we'll go into the cab. I'll give you a quick tour of the cab. Right, the cab is pretty straightforward. As a whole, this loco is very easy to drive. I've driven it a couple of times already. Once on Totem, that little Just Trains route, and I managed to come off the tracks at 135 in the 40 zone around the corner, where I came over off due to consist tilt, and my engine flew, kind of rolled, and then landed in a field next to a Ford Transit van, perfectly straight up, like on its wheels. I could not believe it. But anyway, what's this shit? That was reverser. Okay, cool. And you got your low horn. For some annoying reason, typical RSC can blow the horn, but from that, if you click the thing with the mouse like I am doing now, but if you want the low tone on the B button, it doesn't do it. But anyway, that's cool. Right, we've got a little clock here. Again, a little bit criticism of the cab view. I've only got a view that seems to go about what a range of probably about 130 degrees if I'm lucky. In fact, not even 90. It's more like about 75, maybe 45 degrees. I don't know. So I can't see directly behind me what's in the partition or anything. I just wonder if I do that for the time being. Yeah, okay then. So if I go, oops, a daisy bollocks. Yeah, okay. So it is just a vestibule, even though there's supposed to be a door there for the engine room, I think. But anyway, the motor room. But anyway, that's why. Excuse me, yawning. Life of hard-working man. You got your two telephones on the side, inactive. A lot of buttons are inactive, but it looks very pretty. You even got a little desk thing with your little form out for your times and everything like that, which is brilliant. If I go over to the opposite side, you got the second man's little phone. You got the little blue button. What is that blue button? Okay, it's something. Comms enable thing. That's cool. Little side windows are there. Everything's there. So that's pretty damn dandy. I'll show you how to drive this thing in a minute. We're just going to jump to the other set, and we're going to show you something interesting. Oh, "It's the blunt end," said the man. And you can also make this thing do funny expressions, like half closed eyebrows and shit. But anyway, you get these up and down and you think, what is this? Well, this, my friends, is the blunt end of the Class 91. Let's go back to the other cab and I'll explain how you get there. If you RTFM, which means read the fucking manual, it will clearly tell you, you click on the engine on the Class 91 Loco itself, which we're in. And to get to the rear cab, you press the left and right keyboard arrow buttons at the same time rather than Control plus. Why they did that I don't quite understand, but if you really want to change it, I think you should be able to do it through the input mappers. With a little bit of fiddling and tweaking, you'll be able to get it so a Control plus will work a lot easier. If, like me, you're used to if, like me, you're used to all the other developers' systems, then you will pretty much understand that it's a bit frustrating going from one loco where you press Control plus and then you have to press two completely different buttons to actually get into the rear cab of this thing. So yeah, it's left and right arrow keys, and voila. It will spawn you on the wrong side of the cab, heavens knows why, and you just flick it over. I think there's a little cab fix or some bollocks like that around on UKTS somewhere, but hey-oh. The other thing that's a bit irritating about this when it's nose end first is the heads out view, because there's not one for that blunt end, so you kind of have to do guesswork with that. I'm just going to quickly briefly show you what this little stretch of line. Why is there an objection to me going up that line? There's not. I don't see why I can't. Okay, well, screw that. Oh, that wasn't clever. Right, put the brakes on. Normally get into step 3, so you'll hear a little ding noise when you get into the cab naturally in any scenario free roam on this thing. So it's standard procedure. You either move the reverser forward, which is here zoomed in with the A arrows and the little thing, or you hold on W key, which I'm doing, and press Q to cancel the AWS. So you hear the fans start blowing. Then you got a loco brake and a train brake. Loco's on 0 by default. Train brake is on step 3 by default normally. What's this? Parking brake. You also got a parking brake, interestingly, as well, which functions. You got heat, cool, you got vent, cool. Yeah, you got all that shit. Yeah, and all that sand with a button at the side. Foot warmer. The foot warmer switch goes on and off, but the demister doesn't. That's clever. Okay, that's confusing. Just use the HUD for the lights until I've got the hang of it. So yeah, that's nice. Right, what we're going to do then is we're just going to quickly take this beast forwards and back, and I'll show you what it's like to drive, and then we'll get the full set out. That's the driver alertness device. That will go off even if you're stationary. So put your DRD or whatever it is on. You could turn DRA even. You could turn that on and off as well. But that little dodgy £2.99 quick save car alarm feature, that is actually part of the driver alertness system. You cancel that with the Q button as normal. So you go into release and you just hit it up. Oops, so daisy. Right, okay, we've hit another problem. Right, if you change cabs, then you have to put it in 100% reverse. How annoying is that? Right, okay, that's cool. I can see a fix being on the way for that as well. So we'll go through the tunnel and then we'll come back again. I like the horns, they're quite representative of Class 91, I think. They sound like the real thing from when I've heard them. It's only a few times I've heard the horns properly, but from a distance that I remember, they're alright. Right, we'll just open this up. This is just a loco and a DVT, and this is going through tunnel. I know I should be in a 15 zone, but basically this is how fast this thing can accelerate without carriages. These were known for accelerating really quickly, so it's worth noting that with the carriages it'll be somewhat slower but just as cool. So we'll just shove the anchors on. So there seems to be about 6, 7. There you go, got you. So on the brakes, because I've never gone above step 3. On the brakes, you got step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then the emergency. So your 7th notch is the emergency brake, which is kind of cool. So I mean, I haven't been in the cab on 91, but assuming they've got 7 steps of braking, that is pretty damn good going. I can't argue with that. If we press Control Plus, you get into the DVT. So this is a bit more conventional. So same setup again. You put it in forward, take the brake off, and away we go. I'm just going to whack it up to 100%, as long as we're stopping kings, because I could not give it a flying turd. There we go. I don't quite know how many notches are on these things for cab control, but nevertheless it's going to be quite interesting to know. Oh, it is notched. I think it's notched anyway. I'm pretty sure someone... Ah, it is notched. Okay, yeah, I'm being dumb. That's cool. So you got notches for the accelerator and throttle. Well, accelerator stroke throttle, and then you've got the notches on the brake. So it's pretty simply engine to drive, really. Same with the DVT. Nice and easy to understand, user friendly. So you really can't go wrong. If you do, you're a bit thick. But yeah, that's pretty straightforward. If you've not already gathered from this far in, this is going to be a long review, and this is the nattering, boring bit. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hop over to the I'm going to hop over to the full set, and then we're going to depart. I'll just pull into the platform properly with this dumbness here. There we go. Oh, fuck off. Right, there we go. Okay, cool. Where's the other set? Oh, bollocks, are you kidding me? Right. Free camera. Meow. Aha, right, there we go. Let's turn on some lights. Right, what I've noticed about the lights is it's doing a 3, 2, 1 on us. The lights work, but they're not very bright. I don't know if this is... I'm trying to figure out, is this an issue that the fact I haven't got TSX lighting on, or is it the fact I haven't got high graphics settings? I don't know. I'll figure it out one day, but it's a bit shit. So yeah, right, let's go into the cab, as usual. What we're going to do is we'll press 5, and you get a passenger view. Now, we're in the buffet car. Interestingly, when we press 5 on the passenger view, everything suddenly becomes a lot more detailed, as opposed to when you press the 8 button. How interesting is that? 5, 8, 5, 8. Pretty cool, isn't it? First time I've really done that, and that really shows the difference. But yeah, it's pretty damn neat, this. So yeah, that's your passenger view. Not bad, bit restricting, but it's like what you'd see as passenger. So let's shoot into forwards, hit the Q. Right, there we go. Centre player. What we're going to do is we're going to get this beauty out on the fast line. I don't know which ones the fast lines are. Why are you taking me that way? Retard. Down slow. Down fast. So I need to be on that side then. Oh, hold on. Or is it Hertford Loop territory there? No, it's not Hertford Loop. Okay, cool. This is why I should have really set the road beforehand. That's Finsbury. Cool. Coolio. Right then. So your heads out works nicely. If you press T, there you go. Your plug doors open, and you get all those freaky AI people come out. Ah. And you see it's come out of forwards. Interesting. It must be on an auto thing, or that DSD shit went off. So that's cool. Also like the way I'm looking in my cab and the needles are dancing on the brake gauge. That's the doors closing. Okay, they're closed, even though you shouldn't be able to hear it in the front of the Loco. But anyway, that's absolutely fine. So yeah, doors closed, road set, ignore the signals. The horn's pretty representative. So the low is on the B button, or the single tone's on the B button, and then the clusterfuck high ones are on the spacebar. It should be the other way around really, but like other manufacturers. But yeah, let's put it in forwards, and off we go. So we've put it into running brake mode, so the brakes are off, and we've also put it at 50% throttle. King's Cross itself as a station, model-wise, on the entrance and exit, is quite well detailed for the route itself. Of course, East Coast Main Line is still available on Steam, not long come out, but now this has actually come out alongside it, which is quite nice. I mean, the East Coast Main Line route, I think this London Peterborough one is about 25 quid, 22, something like that. I can't remember exactly. I'm tired. And the 91, which comes with the DVTs and Mark 4s, it comes to a total of $11.99 or something. So it's pretty reasonably priced. You get a reasonable model of a representative train that used to run and still does in some way or form up and down the East Coast Main Line in its entirety, pretty much, for 12 quid. The only apparent thing I really have to criticise right now is the lack of liveries, which seems a bit crap. Why? I mean, I'd love to know. Dovetail Games, RSC, Shawadiwadi's Tin Can Showcase, or whatever they're called this week. You know, I really wish the guys would make their mind up. You know, whether or not they're going to just give one livery or they're going to give more liveries or not. We would prefer it, as people who bought this thing, to have more liveries. I think $11.99 is pretty reasonable for the whole thing as a whole. I think that's pretty cheap actually, which for RSC, in my humble opinion, is quite a rare phenomenon. Which says a lot really, doesn't it? So yeah, I'm interested why they didn't include like National Express East Coast ones, you know, the grey white colours, the proper East Coast livery, GNER blue. You know, I'd love that sort of crap. It's brilliant. It's just a shame they didn't include it. Hopefully there'll be a third-party developer who again will pick up the foot of everything and create some new skins for this thing. I bloody well hope so anyway. Finsbury Park, yeah, I'm clear. Strike it out. No, stop singing. If I sing I'll lose my monetization, which is shit. Down fast, yeah, cool. I would have taken you on the Hertford Loop line as part of this review, because that is included. But there is rather a large problem with this. The track is there, the track markers are there. Guess what isn't there? The overhead wires, the buildings, the people, and the total lack of scenery is there. Again, that comes down as a negative in my book. I mean, you got 25 quid for a route that came with limited rolling stock as it was, which used second-hand recycled sounds. Because this route comes with the 365, the Smiley, which I should have really included in the review. I might do that in the second part. So you get the idea about what it's about. But yeah, I mean that unit was crap, really. I like the Smileys to an extent. Yeah, that's their nickname because a lot of smiling. But the Class 365, as much as a nice model, it's a bit meh. So at least they provided it. Here's the other thing I've noticed about the East Coast Main Line is they used asset blocks on it, and I have talked to my good friend James Littlewood of Problem Productions about this so many times, along with the odd software developer and stuff. And you know, I said, why is East Coast Main Line London Peterborough so laggy in some areas? Because that bit where we just went a little bit laggy, I was hitting 13 frames per second. There you go, we're hitting 6, 7, 9, 12, 13, 9, 12, and then we're back up into the mid-20s. You know, we have those bits where it gets really glitchy and laggy. There's a few bits further up the route as well. Ali Pali seems to be a bad place, really. It's not been too bad today, actually, which makes a change. But yeah, I mean, the way RSC actually modelled the routes and the way they put the assets down was really a bit crap. I think the way I discussed it with James Littlewood from memory, I think I said something along the lines of, it's as if they did it for a high-end gaming PC, you know, and expect it to run on a working man's PC with, you know, a lot cheaper components in the computer and not as good graphics, etc. And the reaction was, yeah, that's because they use computers worth in excess of probably like £2,000 at RSC. So again, RSC, I think, have shot themselves in the foot with this, because they've now developed a route which, as much as it's really good, it lags. It lags an awful lot in some places on certain bits of road. With the 91, it's not been too bad. I'm in the mid-30s now. But I get brief periods where it drops down a lot, but you know, there's times where it drops down. It depends what I'm driving. Then other times it's absolutely fine. The scenery as a whole is really nice. Let's get an exterior shot. Oops, a daisy. You get motion sickness looking backwards. I mean, as a whole, if you look from the exterior of the train, we'll zoom out a bit. If you look from the exterior of the train and look a bit further afield, the scenery depth is pretty cool. It's pretty good. We've got the high-rise towers in the background. We've got all the trees. You've got all the parking lots and everything. Oh shit! Knew that. Oh shit! Bollocks! 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 Arse! Feck! Tits! And that, people, is why you don't sit out the cab for very long. Because your DSD DRA what's it thing goes off and you can't hear it outside the cab, and that happens. Luckily I might stop in that station, which would be mightily handy. I won't stop in that station. That is not mightily handy. I might do. I might not. Shit. And that, my friends, is what happens in railworks. I will read the manual at some eventual point, and we will get round to seeing how we can conquer that problem. Right. Basically, this review will be split into several parts, so we'll get going again. I'll get a bit further, and we will stop. There we go. We'll just whack up the amps, and we'll just throttle the arse off this thing. I'll let you listen to the noise, and we'll see what you think of it. You see again, we had a little glitchy bit there. A Bandicam, you can't see it, but Bandicam puts a little frame rate thing in. Oh, for goodness sake, again. Wow. That's how often that DSD goes off. It goes off a lot sooner than you think. Wow, that says an awful lot. That's frustrating. It's realism, but it's frustrating. Right, we'll pull into the station, and then this will be the end of part one. What I'm going to do is, in the second part of this, we will finish off the route. I'll take you through the rest of the scenery. I'll introduce you to the Smiley as well, the 365, and we'll finish off driving you. I'll take you through a few more features of everything and see what you think in general. But yeah, for the moment, what I'm going to do is I'll round it off here and say thank you very much. I hope you join us for part 2, and that'll be literally out days after this one. So yeah, you'll see me shortly if you follow on the video. If not, you are a bastard and you lost a game. So please, if you could also subscribe, spread the word, and pass the word around for anyone who's wanting to do this route, that'd be fantastic. So we'll sign off at New Barnett, I can't read, it's too small. New Barnett, and we'll rejoin here. And there's my enemy. Okay, so it's goodbye from GC Railfan for now, and we hope that you enjoyed this video. So it is goodbye from me, and it is goodbye from everyone else. If you say bye to yourselves. Anyway, right, we'll look into the distance. And I'll keep pressing Q so that bloody alarm don't go off.